everybody, and welcome to GeekStorm!
What? It just feels like yesterday!
I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the Kokomo Con, and a geek. I'm joined today by Michael Allen Harrison!
It's like I never left.
Mike, on the cosplay circuit.
What?
You know what?
Tell me.
Hella's headdress.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now that
somebody.
is going to be this year's, oh hell no.
It will be.
I'm going to see somebody walking in with a kick-ass Kate Blanchett style Hella costume, but then I'm going to see that headdress. And I'm like, nope. Well, there goes eyeball. That's how you get Nick Fury's. That's how you do it.
The best part about that, though, it's up there. It's not going to be like in anybody's way. These
you
big,
say that.
These big things that like I'm a super Dalek or something where I need the whole aisle. Okay, coming through. It's all about me right now. Oh. That type of thing. I don't like that.
You know what? Last year at the Kokomo Con, we only banned one thing.
What was it?
Real baseball bats.
Oh yeah.
You could bring in airsoft guns. We tie them up. We allowed all kinds of stuff. Yeah. That was the one because I knew, I'm like, a real baseball bat, something's going to happen with all the Negans. That's just, this year, it might be Hella's. You cannot bring in the Hella headgear. Yeah. So, I mean, how many deer do you think have to die to make a Hella headgear?
I don't know.
What is she, like a 12-point buck?
More than that. She's
that was just crazy.
Many points on the Kirby scale, for sure.
Good stuff.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Man, hey, Star Wars.
Hey, what about it?
Have you been over to Walmart or any of the other shopping places lately? Well, you shouldn't go there because you should go to Comics' finest place.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Kokomo Toys and Collectibles.
Oh, it's so because right here I've got
everywhere. Heatwave.
Heatwave.
That's your favorite character.
That's my least favorite character, and I reach over and it's him.
That's Rory.
I don't like it.
Oh, he's great.
I don't like it.
You gotta quit hating. There is some great new toys coming out.
There is.
And there's been some, I mean, the typical stuff. I just saw over at the Bad Competition, the Mart of Walls. They've got some of the Black Series on sale for the DC figures, the kind of oversized stuff.
Did you see that Batman, that giant Batman thing? It's like, okay, think of.
Wait, is it an Imaginext product?
Yes.
Yes, it's like it's a. What do you call those? The shooting.
It's like a Shogun Warrior type of thing.
But Batman.
Where probably Batman's probably this big in it, and the thing I think it really is about this tall. It's got wings. You push a button, they go like that, and they extend and everything, and then it's got these.
If those fists shoot off, I may get one just for myself, because that is the coolest thing.
I wonder where that was when I was a kid.
Oh,
I had a Shogun Warrior. I had Mazinga.
Mazinga.
He had 3 missiles right here.
You watch any wrestling anymore?
No, I accidentally watched some of the Divas the other night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't watch that. But Jericho is doing a cross promotion with, I believe it's New Japan.
Oh.
So they've got, New Japan, and you probably don't know it, but it's more wrestling, and it's gaining, that and Ring of Honor have been gaining like a lot of momentum lately.
Oh, okay.
They've got a guy named Kenny Omega, and they just finished their big thing.
I like that name.
He does great work. He's top kind of guy. And just really going all over. Well, they just finished their big thing, and he's thanking everybody, and he's got a thing where he invites whoever the next opponent wants to be to come on out and face him. And so he does this whole shtick. Nobody comes out because again, it's the end of their big thing. And so it's all coming. Well, nobody's here. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I've beaten everybody. There's nobody left. I'm Kenny Omega. I'm the best. Blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, goes black in the stadium. Up on the screen.
Glass break?
Nope, no glass breaks. Up on the screen, number 5 appears. It starts counting down.
Oh boy, that's
There's no music.
Right?
And all of a sudden it comes up, it's foggy, and it's Chris Jericho. He goes, you know what, Omega? You may be Omega. Turns out I'm the Alpha. So I'm going to see you at whatever their big WrestleMania kind of thing is. But I was like, I don't even watch that stuff that much anymore. But it's Chris Jericho. Yeah. They didn't do the music that usually, his. But even I knowing anything other than something about Chris Jericho and the thing, as soon as I saw the numbers, I yelled out loud, bring the walls down! I loved it. I was just eating it up.
Where you did that? Were you in church?
Yes.
That's weird.
I would go talk to my wife, cause I'm a heathen, so I'm in the corner on my phone going, and blah, 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 parable.
Bring the walls.
Bring the walls down!
Because Jericho is a church thing. That's a Bible thing.
Great.
The walls of Jericho.
I loved it.
Why not?
So much stuff going on right now. Woo! Ric Flair, 30 for 30.
Did Ric Flair's daughter win the title or something like that?
She has had it a couple times now, I believe. So yes, that's been a thing. She came out a while back and was with him, back and forth. She wears the robes. She does the whole Charlotte Flair thing. The whole 9 yards. Right now, there's big talk in the industry of 2 different women or female versions of the Four Horsemen, like a good version and a bad version. The big thing is Ronda Rousey being involved in one of the angles with other kind of up-and-comers and maybe another MMA type person against 4 more mainstream WWE female wrestlers and doing this whole stick. That's all talk and rumor right now, but has been, I mean, I won't lie, that's something that might actually get me to check out some programming.
Casey really likes watching that Divas show, and it's much more, it is 95% behind the scenes stuff. It's not...
Now, do you feel, now you know enough about wrestling because we watched it back in the day a lot.
Sure.
Do you feel that watching the Divas, you're seeing real behind-the-scenes stuff, or are we seeing more scripted reality television versions of behind-the-scenes
I think
stuff?
it's a mixture. I think there's definitely a lot of scripted stuff. There's definitely a lot of, oh, let's go to the horse ranch and you know, oh, you fell off, that type of stuff. But then there's also, hey, there's an executive that pulls a chick over, and it's on camera, and you know, you're going to be shelved for a while, just so you know. And she's like, well, I don't get to wrestle very much anymore. He's like, no, you don't get to wrestle
That's
at all.
what that means.
Yeah. You're not going to wrestle at all.
You're shelved.
So I spent, you know, I watched it for 15 minutes, but I didn't see
Now,
that.
can you use this, though, to maybe get Casey to actually watch, like,
Maybe.
you know, some real wrestling?
Maybe.
I think
Sure.
there's a pay-per-view this Sunday.
Is there?
I think Survivor Series, I think, is the
Ooh,
one.
that is a holiday thing, right?
Yeah, where they fight the 2 brands. Like the SmackDown brand will fight the Raw brand, and so, yeah.
Huh.
So they just had another big thing. I mean, we're going on wrestling. I mean, it's just geekdom. We do geek stuff.
Sure.
That's what the show's about.
Sure.
They had a guy named Jinder Mahal was their champion.
Okay.
Indian guy. Monstrous James Bond villain sized looking kind of guy, mixed with a WWE, almost old school 80s kind of characterization kind of thing. But the rumors and all the talk was about they were trying to break into the Indian market.
Oh.
So, and he's a heel. So they had the strap on a heel,
Right.
playing it all up. They were supposed to have a tour over there. The tour was going to consist of 2 dates, but I guess maybe that's a big deal. And now it's down to 1 date. It's still a tour.
Sure.
One
You gotta
date.
get there and get back. That's a tour.
Like, hey man, can we use your van?
You stop at McDonald's on the way through and you're good.
I don't know that McDonald's in India goes well. I don't know what they serve.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what they serve.
A lot of wraps, I think.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a
But
lot
all
of
right, that's
vegetarian options. We're not really sure.
wrestling news.
Not really sure.
Crazy stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So
You guys come over Sunday and we'll get the Survivor Series. We'll watch it.
Okay.
See what happens.
Yeah. Who knows? What else you got? Oh, Deadpool 2. Hey, I saw the trailer.
Oh,
for
the
it.
trailer was so good.
Man, it was so funny.
Yeah, it was like a breath of fresh air as far as, you know, you get a little bit of Deadpool here and there. We don't get enough Deadpool, and, you know, it was good. It was funny. Had a cool little poster.
Negasonic Warhead looked great in the one little quick scene where she's giving somebody the bird.
Right.
The whole Bob Ross thing that they did
It's funny.
was very funny. It was well done. They got, I don't know that this is actually, I don't think they can put this on air, on television. I don't know if this is just a YouTube thing or an internet thing, because there is a lot of references that are not appropriate.
Right. For the kids.
It's like him grabbing a paintbrush and saying, all right, now we need to whack this off.
Right.
And like him smacking it several
Sure,
times.
sure,
and
sure.
That kind of stuff being said a whole
Innuendo.
lot. Oh, tons
Innuendo.
of it. Very much so. Very
Oh.
adult innuendo in there. But the typical Ryan Reynolds, very great humor. Very little, though, with, what's his face?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of him. There's, I think you see him in a painting. And that's
It's hard to
about
say.
it.
It's hard to say.
So-
Again, we're going to get into a deal where we're going to introduce a lot of new characters, a lot of main characters, not just, you know, okay, we saw Deadpool and his supporting cast, but, we saw, you know, Al, Blind Al,
Yes,
and
she's back.
the cab driver, people that were, you know,
All those bit players
favorites.
will be coming back for their 5
But now
minutes.
you've got, you've got a Josh Brolin, you've got this Domino, and I don't know if we're going to see anybody else.
Now, Disney,
Yeah.
hypothetically, acquires Fox.
Right.
Which means that they acquire Deadpool.
Right.
Back. They get it back.
Right.
Josh Brolin now
Right.
is and
Thanos. Right.
How are they going to fight?
I don't think
Mike,
they will
how's
fight.
that going to happen?
I don't think they will fight.
Holy cow. I
think
mean,
they will.
Cable will be like, listen, Thanos, I'm going to take you down. And then they're going to actually stop. Like he'll run over to the other side,
Yeah.
put on some CG type stuff.
Hey, you're not going to take me down.
I'm not going down for you, Cable.
Right.
No way.
That'll probably happen.
Oh, man, that'd be, well, in in Deadpool 3, you know they'd do that.
Sure.
Especially if they acquired it. They would do some gimmick like that. That would be hilarious.
I think and back to seriousness, I think you're going to see X-Force before you'll see Deadpool 3.
Really?
I think that's
Well, now, will X-Force come out of the New Mutants, or will that be its own thing?
I think they're going to definitely just capitalize on Deadpool, Cable,
Forming a team?
Yes, and forming their own.
Now, would that be a
team.
serious team, or Ryan Reynolds, so it can't be that serious.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, it's a good question. Will it follow that same thing, or I don't know?
Yeah,
or maybe
I
just
don't-
every scene
yeah,
he's
that's
in
weird.
will be crazy. Who knows?
I have gone back and I've rewatched the New Mutants thing, which we talked about several episodes ago, because you were kind of hyped about it, and I'm like, just looks like a misuse of the property to do, a Saw kind of thing. On the big screen, it looked a little better. It looks like the guy who I'm guessing has to be Cannonball is Jonathan from Stranger Things.
Maybe.
Pretty sure. That's who it looked like to me on the big screen. On the little screen, I hate to say it, whenever I see the trailers, even on my computer, which decent sized screen, never the same as seeing it in the theater.
That's for sure.
Speaking of trailers, holy cow, Black Panther.
Oh,
Good gravy.
I had so many notes about that 2 weeks ago.
This is a movie where I'm like, yeah, I want to see it. Black Panther's always been a fun, cool Jack Kirby character,
Right,
so that's something
right.
I've always dug.
Right.
But he's never really been done that incredibly well.
Right.
He's, a movie, I don't know.
Right.
Then that trailer.
Right.
Holy cow! Talk about breaking glass. That's what happened. That was it comes out. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you.
Here's two
His mouth
takeaways.
just opened.
Two takeaways I had from that, and both of them being about Claw. Because we saw him in
Yes.
Age of Ultron, and we saw he loses a hand, and so that's where he whatever. I think most people's introduction in the comics anyway to Claw was probably, for me anyway, it was Secret Wars, where you get to see him he's a powerful dude, but he's insane.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's nuts. And in the trailer, we get to see him do some maniacal laughter, and they didn't cut corners and make him have, okay, I'm a Tony Stark, so I can make a thing that will shoot
prosthetic,
whatever.
weird looking.
No, his hand, and you had to stop it real quick, but he leans out of the car.
Yes.
His hand opens up, like the fingers separate like that, and the sound thing that he's got, it comes out of that. So it's part of his hand or part of his arm.
Cool.
So I thought that was cool. How anytime you see Andy Serkis is a great actor, man.
is.
He's such a great actor, regardless of all the motion capture stuff he does. Just when you see him,
Pin.
it's great to see him be able to see Andy Serkis
Yes.
act and not be something else.
I think he is a good actor. B, motion capture is amazing. C/3, just his visual. He just looks. He's got a great character actor kind of look to him. He's a visually interesting looking person. He's the kind of guy that I want to see in like a pulp action kind of movie all the time. He's got especially when he does kind of the beard or whatever, the mutton chops or whatever. I just think, I look at him and go, that guy just to me is visually very entertaining and interesting, and I want to know more about this story. And it's not that many actors, even amazing actors, just looking at him. You're very lucky if you're not disfigured and you have something like that where, Andy Serkis just has that look.
Michael B. Jordan looked awesome as the villain.
Yeah.
Had a cool look to him.
Oh, that whole dimpled,
whatever that
scarring
is.
thing they did
Yeah.
looks great.
My only disappointment in that trailer, and probably what will be my only disappointment in the movie, is at the end we're going to have a guy in a Black Panther suit versus a guy in a Black Panther suit.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to be crazy
That's kind
about.
of the Ant-Man
Yeah.
thing with that. But soundtrack sounded great.
Yeah.
Visually looked amazing.
It looked like nothing we've ever seen before, which is what it should look like. Wakanda, we don't know what Wakanda looks like, and it's not been Europeanized, and it's not been advertised, and we shouldn't be able to. That should be all new to us. Should be the most fantastic realm in the world to us because we've never seen it.
And again, and this unfortunately catering back to the PC police at this point, in a world where all we hear about anymore is sexual allegations or diversification. This movie looks like it did it right. It's just like, you know what, the diversification, fine. It's Black Panther. We're going to need some minority actors. We're going to get really good ones.
I'm not laughing at that.
We're not going to get just anybody. These are all. Jordan after Creed, he's awesome.
Okay, so they showed the poster.
Yes.
Okay, And in the poster, you have all the actors. It's
Yeah.
it's a black-centric movie, and you had the 2 white guys, and so you had the guy who played Gollum,
Okay.
and the guy who played Bilbo. Okay, and somebody somewhere said those are the 2 Tolkien white people. I thought that was funny.
Oh, that is
Tolkien.
great.
Tolkien.
Back to Andy Serkis. So he recently did a whole thing about motion capture and all the greats and whatnot. Well, I guess, and I saw the reply from another actor. Turns out the guy who played Jar Jar wasn't mentioned.
Oh.
And he's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to be like crapping all over this because it's a really good article, but if we're going to go back to the guy who really kind of got motion capture started, that would be Misa. So yeah, and if I'm like going back in my head, I'm like, well, yeah, I got to think that that guy probably was the first, unembodied head on a stick kind of, dots and weird things all over his body.
I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
I can't either, and I just read the article about it, but it was kind of like, yeah, you did it, but maybe it was because it was Jar Jar, whereas Gollum is so memorable and the ape stuff is so memorable, and Andy Serkis is, he's really, kind of a claim to fame on that. That's going to be his thing. So, but it was interesting just to see the one guy like, hey, wait a second, hold up, hey,
Here I am.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Tolkien.
So, I don't know.
Hey,
what were your
hey,
feelings?
Whoa. I'm Tolkien here.
What were your feelings on the Hobbit trilogy?
I love the first 3, the previous, the Lord of the Rings thing.
Sure.
The Hobbit felt to me like it was very much drawn out longer than it ever needed to be. That final movie, in particular, felt much more drug out. This was one book that wasn't the size of the other 3.
Right.
Done in the same length that it took to tell those 3 books. So, but quality-wise, what we saw on the screen, the acting, the CG, and all that, loved it.
Sure.
It was really good.
So here's the subject being okay. So now Amazon has signed a deal to do a TV show in the Tolkien universe.
Yep.
Okay, Lord of the Rings universe.
Which is huge. I mean,
Sure.
those books don't cover all that material.
Right.
Not even close. And even those who know those books know they didn't cover. There's so much cut out of those things that
I just can't imagine it being better than the movies. It being, the movies were just so good. I'm talking about the original.
Sure.
We're just so good. I can't see how I'm going to learn something new or feel something more. Or
I can't see how you can't learn something new because again, I don't think you've ever read all those. I could be wrong, but I haven't read that.
You're right.
There's a lot of material that wasn't covered. Is it going to look as good? Probably not. They're not going to have that kind of a budget, and they're probably not going to get Peter Jackson, who's got his Bible version ready to go, but. I think it's a matter like me. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And there's so much in those movies that's not in there that was from those books that if they had offered me more, I would have showed up for that. So I think if you're a hardcore Tolkien fan, if you're a Rings fan, you're going to show up for this. And most of us are going to show up for an episode or 2 regardless, I would think. If you're a geek, you're going to want to see what this is about.
I'll definitely check it out.
The most sour grapes things I've heard so far came from John Rice Davies, who came out and said that Amazon or whoever it was involved in a money grab. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what they do.
Sala, I love you, buddy, but
I am the monarch of the sea.
I'm like, what? Who do you get off saying somebody's doing a money grab?
Right.
I'm like,
You were in
they
Sliders.
turned.
You were in Sliders. You can say nothing.
Yeah, and not to mention all of this straight to DVD / crap he's done. I'm like, I would love to meet the guy, and he's an actor I'd have dinner with and love to pick his brain about it. But to hear him call somebody out about a money grab, I'm like, your franchise did 3 Hobbit movies. Okay, if anything, you should be ticked that there's not 9 Lord of the Rings movies that you're in.
Entertainment exists because it makes money.
Sure.
Otherwise, it would not exist. There would be no movies. There would be no TV.
Wait a second.
What?
John Rice Davies, this is Amazon. We were hoping you were going to play Oh, wait, you said what? Screw you, John. Get me another guy I can CG into a dwarf.
They're everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of money.
I like money. I don't have enough of it. I could have more money if people came down to Comics Cube and Kokomo Toys and Collectibles and spent some money.
They will. They will.
We got so much cool stuff in for the holidays.
By the hundreds.
It is crazy.
2 quick things regarding
You can
cons.
do them fast. You can do them slow.
Wizard World
Oh, I thought you were talking about a Nigerian prince.
No, conventions all over the country has said that they're again losing millions this quarter. They lost 1 point some million this quarter, and they've continued to that trend. They say there is substantial doubt that they will be able to continue operations as is through 2018.
They are doing something magnificently wrong.
Yeah.
As a guy who puts on a tiny, tiny show that makes less than 1% of what one of their shows makes,
Right.
I can be profitable. How is it that you can have 50,000 people or whatever it is that goes to one of these Wizard Worlds
Yes.
at $50, $60 a ticket
Yes.
and not be profitable?
Yes, if you are packing an arena, if you are packing a convention space and you're losing money, you're doing something wrong on the business side.
Yeah.
So to me, it's all about the celebrities. They have bigger
gotta
and
be.
bigger celebrities, so they have to pay more and more money, and not as many people come in for that.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You know what? And it's funny. I call that the animals. It's the zoo.
Yeah.
I'm into the industry. I love it. I know that my fandom has now branched out into other fandoms or other people's fandoms, and one of those has become autograph collecting. It's very serious business. We have friends involved in it.
Sure.
It's a big deal, and they're going to these things just to get that.
Yeah.
But by doing that, they are bypassing everything else that convention has to offer.
Because they have to stand in line for hours and hours
Yes.
to get that 2-minute signature, if they're lucky, 2 minutes.
If anything, and it started to happen, I believe, because you've got Amel involved in something called Heroes and Villains. What's going to happen, and I think it's already happened, is you have autograph conventions
Right.
now.
Yeah,
And
sure.
that's going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Comics are always going to have now, Wizard World, if they want us to continue, are going to have a couple of names, but they need to quit bringing in a full jetliner filled with these people that honestly
Nobody's
aren't that
buying a
entertaining.
ticket because Ernie Hudson's going to be there.
Not me.
Okay.
And he's great.
He
I
is.
met him. He's a super nice guy.
He is. I'm going.
But-
I personally, I'm going to the show, and yeah, that kind of stuff is kind of cool. And if it's somebody, I stood in line maybe twice in my long career for a big name celebrity. And
Who?
Ian McDermott.
Okay.
And I probably can't even name that one. I don't even know.
I stood in line once that I think of, and it wasn't a long line because nobody else was there. It was at Gen Con, and it was Book from Firefly.
Ron Glass.
Ron Glass, thank you. I always want to say Ron Jeremy. I'm like, nope, I don't want to insult him. Ron
That
Glass.
would be a long line.
Super nice,
Heyo.
super nice guy. It was wonderful.
Okay.
And
And hey, and to wrap up, just one more thing. What if you got a cease and desist letter? You and your little Kokomo Con,
Yeah.
you can't call it a con anymore. You can't say Comic Con. You can't say Kokomo Comic Convention.
really,
What if you got that letter? What would you? How
I would
you, how
tell
make you
San
feel?
Diego to kiss my ass if I had enough
What?
lawyer, because I'm sure it's them.
But you don't.
They've been trying to do this for a while.
So that case is finally coming to court. It's been around for a long time. It's San Diego Comic Con versus Salt Lake Comic Con. And I don't know why they went after them first, but that's who they decided to go after. As far as we invented Comic Con, you can't call yourself Comic Con. You can't call yourself a comic convention. And we want to be able to say who can do it, and you're going to pay us to do that. So that's going to court later this month. Finally.
One, I won't. I'll just change the name. One, we're the Kokomo Con,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
screw them. But two, come on, San Diego. It's not like you're a real comic convention anymore anyway.
No, they really aren't. They should be Entertainment Expo, the
Yeah,
CD.
what you are now is you're the Hall H
Yeah.
Con is what you are. And so screw you.
So-
leave it alone. This is like trying to, copyright or trademark the word, of or son or
Sure.
some just completely out there. And there's a thing, there's a legal thing where you can lose control of your name.
Sure.
If you become the generic term for like Xerox or something like that, there's nothing you can do about it. You lose the rights to your
We got to wrap it up.
to their thing. So all right, everybody. They don't open until noon, so we don't have to do anything.
Oh, they don't? All right.
That was our show for the day.
Oh.
Thank you so much for checking us out. I am
was?
Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube.
Happy
located-
Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy
groovy.
holidays.
Goodbye.
Happy